Hey everyone, welcome. It's Legal Vices here again. It is now 10 p.m. in dark and cloudy and soon to be rainy Busan, South Korea. There are 53 of you here now and 31 likes, so we're off to a great start. But before I get going, y'all can shut the fuck up about the title. I know my dude in Pakistan he's not available today to change the thumbnail. And I'm not joking about that. If you will go and refresh your damn feed or look at the beginning, you'll see that I patched it up a while ago. So let's not panic. It's all being taken care of. So don't panic. Great to see all my mods here. It looks like the vast majority of the mods are here to keep all you decrepit cretins and degenerates in line here. All right, let's going back here through all of the pre-game. Yeah, we know. It's not Ward. We know it's Wood. As I said, the dude who does my thumbnails didn't have enough turnaround time to get it repaired. So that's where we are. Let's see, going down through here. My typos will be large and in charge today. All right. Good for you, Rose. Thanks. Awesome to have you here. Keeping everybody in line, as I said. All right. Only difference between Wood and Herd and Wood can act. Yes. All right. Again, I'm trying to catch up on the some of the chats here that I missed. Checking in from Missouri. Good to see you here. It's a mega pint of coffee time. Well, let's start out with my usual beginning. I have my official Johnny Depp mega pint. This is my Legal Vices pimp cup. Right now, it is full of a delicious rye, Whistle Pig small batch rye, 10 years aged, coming in a delicious 100 proof, a 50% ABV. Cheers. Oh, God, that smells so good. All right. So again, the next person that mentions the discrepancy in the title, someone else feel free just to pimp slap them for me because I can't do it. And one of these times I'm going to get my pipe smoking online on stream down. The problem with smoking a pipe is you've got to really take care of it. You've got to really give it a good puff every 30 seconds or so, or it goes out. Whereas if it's a cigar, you can ignore it for 5 minutes and it'll still be good. So I don't want to be too focused on smoking the pipe, but we need to get it going. Okay. Never mind. I guess we're done smoking the pipe again today. All right. Why are we here? It's back to Marilyn Manson, as again, thank God that apparently we're done with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp for the next little while. Now we've got we're into the reviews of the reviews. So I think I'm out of it. It's Susie says it's 11:06 p.m. here. Way too late for a mega pint. Yeah. It's 10:06 here, and that's just the right time to start my mega pint. Hugh Neutron says you need to find the Bic pipe lighter. Is there a game changer? Yeah, this is my Cthulhu Zippo lighter. I've got a torch lighter, but it kind of tends to burn out the pipes. So we got this one going here. And this is a really super strong tobacco too. All right, so welcome. Turn the fan on. We're back to doing the second part of the Marilyn Manson, Evan Wood defamation trial. I know it's Wood and not Ward. I'm not sure how Ward made its way into my previous request for a thumbnail, but it did. And so I had to live with it last time, and I forgot about it until I went to upload it today, and I sent my Pakistani maker of thumbnails a message, and he was unavailable at present today to do it. So it'll be there hopefully for next time, which will probably be on Thursday. How many cowboy hats do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cowboy, 5 cowboy hats. I've got my Polish fisherman's hat. I've got several nice Irish flat caps, a shit ton of baseball caps. I'm just a hat guy because I shave my head and it gets sunburned and or cold. So, what I'm trying to do is we're trying to get through the initial complaint, the initial defamation complaint filed by Marilyn Manson against Evan Rachel Wood and her grifter girlfriend, and we'll see how that goes. And there's been a new motion filed in it. I want to get to the motion next time and some comments on that. Again, this trial, this hearing, this whole case is in the very, very, very early infant stages. It's going to be a couple of years, I would guess, before it gets anywhere near a trial. So what do we do while we wait for 2 years? The first thing we got to do is like and subscribe. I'm darn happy because we have exactly 21,000 subscriptions right now. Exactly 21,000. So let's see if we can bump that up to 21,100 by the end of today. I'd like to get 100 new subscriptions out of this. So if any of you have not yet subscribed, please jump on over there and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and let's run with it. We've got 176 watching and 93 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 700 or 800 likes by the end of today. So call all your friends, get them hooked off into the channel here, send them on over, and let's get this thing rolling. Again, hit that like and subscribe. Let's see how far above 21,000 we can get today. All righty. Again, I've reached out. If any of you know Colonel Kurtz, as I know some of you have because you mentioned her last time we were on here, she's kind of the internet resident guru, master, know-all of issues related to the Marilyn Manson case. And I've reached out to her through Twitter and email. I'm desperately trying to get her on the show for one of these Manson streams. So if any of you have any connection to her that I don't have, kind of push her in my direction. That would be awesome to have her on because I love listening to her talk about the cases and things. So what we've got, we won't go over the allegations that have been made about Manson because they're pretty brutal and they're not the most favorable for the YouTube algorithms. And I got punched in the proverbial nose, the metaphorical nose, for doing the business case and getting too graphic on those details. But yeah, there's been a lot of things that he's been accused of doing, not just with Evan Rachel Wood, but with other women who also have cases filed against him and whatnot. But some pretty deviant stuff that they're alleging was non-consensual. His take on it is everything was consensual. And what I want to do now is just sort of review the complaint, make some general statements, and review the first 10 pages, which is what we did last time. We'll do a very quick review of that. And then we'll have a few comments and a few statements and things. And then we'll continue reading the complaint. And this time we'll get into the basis for the charges. Righty, let's pull up this screen here. Now, to start things off, we have the lawsuit was filed by Brian Warner, Marilyn Manson. He's the plaintiff, and he's filing against Evan Rachel Wood and Ashley Gore, aka Ilma Gore. I really want to figure out why, and I haven't bothered to research it yet or look into it, why she changed her name from Ashley to Ilma. Just a curiosity of mine, and got the dogs back here in the background, kind of being bulldogs. So if you're heavy breathing, licking noises, and or snoring, none of that is me. It's all the dogs. It's all the big old English bulldogs I've got sitting behind me here. All righty. So let me bump up the microphone here. I knocked out my presets by shouting into the microphone. I really need to sort of work on shouting next to the microphone as opposed to shouting directly into the microphone. because then that just upsets all of the presets. And all right, let's see. Here we go. He's got these. He's got the complaints here. They're all filed, but unlike Johnny Depp, who filed his defamation case in Virginia, where it's a little more favorable, even though they have the weird unanimous jury decision rule, he's filed it in the Superior Court of the State of California in the County of Los Angeles Central District. So he's filed his case in the middle of liberaldom, in the middle of of Los Angeles. So I think that is going to be a big issue for him. I mean that might cause him some problems, just as far as getting a jury sat that's going to be more. I don't want to. It's going to be more sympathetic to the female side of things. Now we've got Richard, you're saying I think Vices wants to interview her. I don't want to interview her. I want her to come on the show and talk about the case because she knows infinitely more about this than I do. She's been working on this Manson thing for probably, I mean, well over a year, and so she's much more knowledgeable than I am, and I want to invite the experts on here. Otherwise, it's just me spouting stuff that I've read and seen elsewhere. So that's the idea for getting her on here. We need to get the expertise. And all right, so he filed his lawsuit in California, in Los Angeles. And the basis of his complaint is these 4 issues. The 4 grounds for complaints are intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation per se, violation of the Comprehensive Computer Data and Access Fraud Act, and impersonation over the internet. And he's demanded a jury trial. So that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today as we go through all of this. And we did some of the background facts, so we'll give a quick review of that, and then we'll get on to the basis for these claims. If you haven't seen the previous one, that's not necessary, but if you want to go back and watch it, it's a couple of hours where we started out giving the background of the allegations against him, reading some of this, and then we ended up watching videos of blues performers and slide guitarists by the end of it. So the introduction just sets out the basic facts, and the implication in these background facts is that Evan Rachel Wood, who I think she's a fantastic actor. I love her. I love her in Westworld. It's a fantastic show. She does a fantastic job. And I was surprised to find out that she was linked to Marilyn Manson when all of this went down. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. But the gist of what Manson is saying here is that she loved it. She loved to be there. You know, she was saying in interviews and things that she was craving danger and excitement. And being with Manson put my creativity into overdrive. This is who I am. This is who I've always wanted to be. And I'm finally with someone who lets me be who I want to be. So Wood was getting her freak on. Wood was getting her freak on with Marilyn Manson. And I would imagine that Marilyn Manson can get his freak on like no other. And as I said throughout the Johnny Depp trial, I probably wouldn't be able to do all of the things that Manson would do in a weekend, but I guarantee you that would be one of the best weekends you've ever spent in your entire life. Yeah, they were apparently getting some serious BDSM freak on, and the allegation here is she enjoyed it at the time. She meets up with this new person, with this Gore woman, and then at that point, I guess she decides that she wants to be, again, as alleged in this complaint, that she decided she wanted to be known for something else other than being a former fling of Marilyn Manson, and that she wanted to disavow her past to have a more serious and professional image. So again, the allegation is what she enjoyed at one time, now she regrets, and she's claiming the SV as a way of distancing herself from being involved in that type of a lifestyle. Kyle Mitchell says not so legal vices. What is not so legal vices? Let me know. If you think something is not so, let me know what it is. Anywho, so it briefly mentions that she meets up with Ilma Gore, and he characterizes her as a grifter who has done things such as steal identities from family members, and has gone on to convince Evan Rachel Wood to make these claims for monetary gain. And he's alleging that as part of this conspiracy, he's alleging between Gore and Wood to okay. A weekend with Manson would contain some not so legal vices. Yeah, but you would it would certainly be a weekend you would remember forever. So anyway, they're saying that Wood and Gore together with this conspiracy impersonated an actual FBI agent, a real live FBI agent, and created and distributed a fictitious letter to create the false appearance that Warner's alleged victims and their families were in danger, and that there was a federal criminal investigation of Warner ongoing. And that, as it explained later on in this document, the letter allegedly came from this woman who is a real FBI agent, but from a division of the FBI that does not exist. And the female agent came forward and said, wasn't me, apparently. And they also provided a checklist and scripts to prospective accusers, people that had slept with, been in relationships with Marilyn Manson, listing specific acts of abuse. I believe it was 21 acts of abuse that they could claim against Warner. And then they would have like these town hall meetings with all these people to try to coordinate the stories, to try to get them on the same page and discuss how they could bring these claims against Marilyn Manson. And they made knowingly false statements to prospective accusers, including the defamatory claims which claim that Warner filmed a sexual assault of a minor. Oh, and Lifesanders started the grift off today. Thank you so much for the first donation of the evening. Enjoy the grift. Thanks for the content. And thank you for that awesome donation. That is spectacular and much, much appreciated. And by the way, like I said, I can't keep a very close watch on this on the chat here. So if there's something you want me to answer, if there's something you desperately think I need to know and can't miss, please feel free to do it in a super like. I get those come up in big bright colors on my screen and I can see them and they draw my attention. So that's the best way to get me aware of anything that you think I need to be aware of. Additionally, in furtherance of their conspiracy, Gore solicited Warner's personal information from former employees. So they're saying that they went to people that had access to his computers, his phones, his email accounts, and social media. They created fictitious email accounts and hit some porn on it, some illicit porn with apparently some illegal porn on it. And they swatted Warner after, just recently after Wood suddenly appeared all over the media. So there's some serious allegations in here. And then it goes on to describe the parties. Evan Rachel Wood is from Tennessee. Manson's a California resident agent. They have this company called the Phoenix Act they've set up. That was the Phoenix Act. They were the ones that produced this Manson documentary that was on HBO recently, which I still haven't watched, and I probably need to. The jurisdiction when this thing is in California. The factual allegations, again, which we just went over. But 2016, while promoting HBO show Westworld, she told Rolling Stone she'd been raped twice by a significant other, didn't name Manson, and the owner of a bar. And then later, after that, she met with the Gore, and then it went on for a while. Then she decided that she would name Warner as the, should I call him Warner or Manson? We'll call him Manson. Name Manson as the party that carried out this act. So then that went on. And then it says that the Gore here is a grifter. She was talking about getting involved with this Phoenix Act company with Rachel Wood, and the goal was to protest and to make money. And again, I don't have a problem with making money. That's what we're all here for. Everybody wants to make money, and that's a good thing. But she wants to do it through this. I believe it's supposed to be a nonprofit company. I'm not exactly sure on how it's set up, but it engages in fundraising, GoFundMe things, crowdfunding. People donate the money, and she draws her salary from the donated money. Apparently, so they make the documentary in summer 2020. HBO officially signed on to the project. Wood had never publicly alleged that Manson had abused her. Then, right after this, she decided that she would name him as the abuser, allegedly to gain more attention for the HBO special that she had. This is the deluge of allegations against Warner brought renewed attention to the Phoenix Act and Wood, and in doing so provided more manufactured content for the HBO project. Its director, Amy Berg, confirmed this fact in an interview with Variety, stating that naming Manson obviously created a lot more story for us. So then it talks about how Wood and Gore would organize, coordinate, promulgate false allegations about Warner. How they would try to recruit, coordinate, and pressure people to claim they were abused by him. And that's how this list got released, apparently. This list of 21 potential acts of abuse that you could use as grounds for a claim were sent out to all these people. And one girl got it and said, one woman got it, and said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to participate in this, but I believe I'll keep this list and tell people what you're doing. And that's how this list got out, apparently. And then we start to come to the good points here, where Wood and Gore have derailed Warner's career. Again, remember, this is the complaint filed by Marilyn Manson, saying that he was defamed, and he's seeking monetary damages, which we'll get to at the very end of this. So Wood and Gore have derailed Warner's career. Wood acknowledged as much in Phoenix Rising, that's the documentary, which he stated that the film itself, which debuted long after her and Gore's orchestrated attacks. Oh, hey, look who we've got here.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Let's put you back there.
Can you hear me?
We've got you. We got a lot to talk about. How long were you there before I noticed you?
Yeah, just 30 seconds or so. This is actually good. I'll stay out of your way. I'm trying to get the background myself, and I was watching you. It's really good.
Yeah, it's we're just kind of going through the complaint here. Like I said, I'm trying to reach out to Colonel Kurtz to get her as the Manson guru on the internet involved. She's hard to contact, either that or she wants nothing to do with my type of internet. And
I don't have a tight connection, but I can send her the link on IG. Maybe that'll help.
Or again, she might just have to work a day job like most people do. It's hard.
There's that too.
Well, I was tweeting back and forth with Tug earlier days, like, yeah, dude, I gotta work in the daytime. So maybe I have to do one on the weekend, like when it's a weekend morning here and Friday evening elsewhere in the world.
You lead a fun life. I enjoyed. You had a little stream with who
legal mindset
with
legal mindset.
Where you guys went to the bar.
Yeah, we were just hanging out in the bar the other night. That was pretty fun.
I saw that and I'm like, whatever. I was like having coffee this morning when I saw it. And I thought, that looks like fun. I just like to go have a couple with these guys.
Yeah, we've got to get you over here. You've talked about it before, so we need to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah,
we've got guest rooms. We've got accommodations. You don't have to sleep in his bathroom or anything. I've got the room down here, and I'm on the beach. So it's great to have Law Talk with Mike here. You got your coffee going. I've got the booze going already, so we're good.
Yeah, we had fun too. You hopped on. We ended up spending more time. It was Friday night for me. I don't know what it was for you. We were searching for that clip.
That was really, really early on the next morning here.
Right. And we never found the clip, but you and I like hung out for an hour just looking for the clip. That was probably the most fun of the whole deal. And then of course NBC gave me a copyright claim on it.
Oh, just for that little bit we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I did? It was beautiful. I just cut it out. Yeah, like, YouTube gives you that option. I'm like, all right, cut their crappy clip out. Because what was fun about this stream, John showed up, Kurt showed up from Uncivil Law. What was fun about that stream was just us, like, chewing the fat about things.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need your clip. How's that?
Yeah, well, I did the whole interview. I thought I would get away with it because I used someone else's stream that had been uploaded. So I put a couple of layers between me and NBC, but they took the whole thing down.
No,
And
they have that software. If
yeah.
if it identifies, they're hitting it. That's it.
Yeah, so I couldn't do that. Otherwise, it would have been about 30 seconds of me introducing it and about 5 minutes of me doing my outro. So I just appealed it. I just disputed the copyright thing, and we'll see what happens in 30 days. And
that'll be interesting.
I still got the still got the super chats from it. So hey, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
thing, like that stream, that was impromptu. We didn't have any plan. I didn't know I was doing it until 2 minutes before. And what was funny is it was up for like a day and a half, and it got most of its views. You do this, right? So it got most of the views that the video is going to get, and it's already sort of down.
Yeah.
And then, but their problem is that claim they wanted it not shown, so it went to zero. Like it was sometimes they'll just say, we'll take the revenue. I probably would have let that go, but they're like, no, we're not showing it at all. I'm like, all right, let's get rid of your crappy clip. What shocked me is after I did that, and then they started showing it again without the clip, it started doing a lot more than it was doing right before.
Oh, that's interesting.
It actually increased the performance on it. I mean, it's still small because it's later, but it's like it actually went up.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's interesting.
It is.
Well, apparently the ratings were trash on NBC for the actual live show. They said it was the worst since November of last year. The worst ratings they've ever had for Dateline.
Well, they're dishonest. They're dishonest. They are now low key still pushing their narrative. So they'll sort of half concede, hey, the jury didn't see it that way and everything. But then they'll slant everything, in subtle ways. They continue with that. They never give up.
Talk for a few quick seconds more here while I add you to the description of my video here.
All right. All right.
Feel free to talk about what.
In fact, I'd gone back and forth a couple times with Colonel Kurtz, but she is hard to get a hold of because I wanted to get it on this case, and then I saw this, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go over there and listen because I want to see the complaint, and the complaint is, I get it, it's from his perspective.
But well, and what do you think about him filing in Los Angeles? He filed this in Los Angeles County, which I'm thinking isn't the best for him to be against females alleging this sort of thing. I'm guessing liberal LA County isn't the best place to do this.
Yes, but he's got one thing going for him there. Every other person in Los Angeles looks at that and says, this could happen to me too.
Yeah, or they say, oh, that's just a Tuesday night. That could be the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've almost got you here. I just keep on talking.
Oh, Andrea Burkhart. Yeah. Andrea is good too.
Yeah. Problem is she lives on the West Coast. So it's still like 6:30 a.m. there. That's the the problem with getting her. She's out on the West Coast.
Yeah. I mean, it's 8:25 here, but I mean, I'm in Chicago.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be 6 a.m.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. What? I didn't notice. All right, just a couple clicks here, and we'll add you as guest with capital letters.
I love it.
All right, there we go. Now, for those of you that are just joining us and wondering what in the holy hell is going on, we were reviewing the review of the complaint, and then we got Law Talk with Mike to come on. So we did a quick little interview there, and we got our small talk out of the way. Now let's get into the big scary Manson guy. And what I want to do is finish going. There's like 10 pages left of the complaint. We got about halfway through it. Then just some general comments about it and see where we sit, because like I'm trying to be as neutral as possible with this. But after reading the complaint, I'm finding the complaint to be incredibly persuasive.
Yeah.
That if he can even substantiate 1/10 of the things that he's alleging she did, I think she's doomed in a bad way, because it does not look good to be her. If any of these things are true, let me pull us down here into the bottom. and pick up where we left off. And as long as you guys are here, make sure, I mean, I'm sure everyone that's watching me has subscribed to your channel. But if you haven't subscribed to Law Talk with Mike, get over there and subscribe to his channel. And while you're doing that, make sure you subscribe to mine too. I just hit my 21,000 subscribers today. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
That is awesome.
Only 50 million more and I can be up there with you.
Yeah, well, no, that's a huge start.
Not bad for a month. I'm assuming it's not going to keep continuing at that rate.
Took me about 2.5 years to get where you are in a month. Just saying.
Well, like I said, I don't think it's going to continue going at that ratio, but yeah. So we've just got to where she had paid money for her Phoenix Act and the Phoenix Rising documentary. They hadn't named him as one of the 2 abusers she said she had suffered at the hands of. Then she did, and the director of the HBO project says in Variety that naming Manson obviously created a lot more story for us. It has become a 2-part film in the edit bay. That's not a good thing to be. And jump in anytime you want here to mention any comments. Okay. So he's saying that Wood intended the public allegations against Warner to be, to corroborate her prior statements and testimony. And the idea is this Gore is a grifter that's directing her. And see, I'm wondering if Evan Wood is going to throw this Gore person under the bus, because that's what I would do if I was her. I'd say, hey, before this, I hadn't named him. I didn't want to name him. She got into my head. I'm easily persuaded. This was all her idea. I had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry I got involved in this. Let's go get her, and please let me off the hook. That's the only way I can see her, just from reading the complaint.
Yep. You want distance for sure.
It says that from 2019 to present, Wood and Gore have conspired to recruit. Have you seen the recruitment things that they've done?
No.
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. They were distributing to people that had dated and or been involved with Manson a list of 21 potential acts he could have committed on them, and had them check the box like you do in elementary school. Do you like me? Check yes or no.
Who can survive this, honestly?
Yeah, it's not
any person
really
on the
good.
planet, any person, man or woman. Okay, let's make a checklist of poor behavior, and then go to every one of your exes. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your orientation is. Nothing. Just wherever you are in life. Let's make a list of bad behavior and check in with all of your exes. And see if they'll say that. I mean, by definition, they're your ex, so something went wrong.
Yeah.
I guarantee they can check some boxes.
And apparently that's how this list got out. Was one of his exes, or one of the people he'd been involved with, said, thanks for the letter. I don't think I want to be part of this, and I think I'm going to let everybody else know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so that's the part here where we get up from about 2019 to present. Wood and Gore have conspired to recruit, coordinate, and pressure people to claim they were abused by Warner, and it took 10 or more years to realize this. And so it's like all the people in their 20s have suddenly realized that 10 years ago, when you're so in their teens, they had all these repressed memories for their very short life period. And then they suddenly all remembered them, and they remember the same incidents at exactly the same time. This is the allegations regarding the recruitment. I think this is where we get because we went through the first 11 pages of this last week. Together, Wood and Gore coordinated allegations and devised specific buzzwords, phrases, and talking points that prospective accusers would use when they gave interviews or posted their stories on social media. And they organized town hall freaking meetings where prospective accusers were encouraged to align their stories and believe not only that their decades-old consensual encounters with Warner were abusive, but also, as multiple accusers have stated publicly, that the alleged abuse caused them to repress their memories for 10 or more years.
Okay, so yeah. That is absolutely damning. Like you said, first of all, you either have to distance yourself or disprove it. Here's where I don't think you can just flat disprove it. This is drafted by a law firm, and I don't know them. I don't even know who the attorney is. Okay, so I'm not endorsing some attorney. I'm just saying somebody who's got a practice and a clue drafted this and put their signature on it under penalty of perjury. Okay. And they so not that they're all true, but that there's a good faith basis for all of these allegations. So unless the attorney is insane, They have some evidence suggesting all of the things that they're alleging here.
And it seems they have a great deal of evidence.
Yeah, I mean, I draft complaints all the time, and I'm going through and I'm like, okay, if called to the carpet, okay, what can I show to justify this allegation? I'm thinking that as I review it before I sign that thing and file it.
And exactly, like right here, paragraph 26, where it says Gore solicited prospective accusers by phone, text messages, email, and/or social media. That tells me the lawyers have copies of phone messages, text messages, emails, and social media.
Yeah, that's all verifiable stuff. Yeah, like you just sort of say that. There's some screenshots sitting around that lawyer's office.
Hey, I know this is a strange way to reach out, but my name is Ilma, and I work for the Phoenix Act. I run it alongside Evan Rachel Wood. We're organizing a group of people to meet up in Los Angeles with Zoom Skype in to talk about experiences they had that might be similar to yours. I'm not sure that you would be interested in participating. You aren't obliged to speak, but if you wanted to listen in, that would be fine. It's a small group, and you are personally invited. If you want to know more first, I would be happy to jump on the phone and email more details. Best, Ilma. They recruit that, and then they talk about here more in the complaint about the here we go. Gore provided prospective accusers with a checklist of 21 fabricated acts of abuse to ensure that their public claims against Warner would mirror each other. Let me clear this massive list of super chats. 3 super chats I've got going here so far today. Dr. McFuzzball, thanks. Don't underestimate LA juries. Depends on the courthouse, but we're way more centrist than Hollywood media would have you think. This is LA County. I'm kind of nervous about it, but again, if they have all of this stuff, the public figure standard and slap laws are complete unconstitutional trash. You do not have a right to lie and damage people. Yeah, I don't know a super lot about the anti-slap cases and things, but it just sort of seems fundamentally unfair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one of the big things that people talk about with tort reforms and other legal reforms is that big person A can crush little person B with legal fees and acts and run up the bill and basically litigate them into bankruptcy. And this doesn't sound too far removed from that in the scheme of things.
Yep.
And Alex Cameron, thank you so much. Could this trial be aired to public? Oh God, I hope this will be on. I hope this will be aired. I hope this will be broadcast.
I think it will be if it goes.
If it goes, I said this is the complaint, so we are 2 years at least away from anything vaguely resembling a trial. All right, so this checklist that they submitted, that's in the appendix here. Let's whip on down to the appendix. This is ridiculous. Attachment B is what we're looking at here. Willing to testify, yes. Sexual partner, spouse. Offered project or professional opportunity that never came to fruition or was vastly different than how it was presented. Rape, blood drinking, commercial sex act or acts. Cut or assaulted during sex without prior consent. Tied up and bound. Locked in bad girl room or unable to physically leave. Made to guard girl to make sure she doesn't leave or commit self-deletion. Sleep deprivation, forced to eat on specific eating schedule, given a dress code, drugged or suspected to be drugged with Rohypnol, threatened, underage and given drugs and or alcohol, scarification, exploitation or blackmail of documents, photos and or video, assault, battery with a deadly weapon, help to coordinate schedules and or locations of women, matching tattoos with Marilyn Manson, aka Brian Warner, was a minor and had sexual relationship with Marilyn Manson, aka Brian Warner, transported to Los Angeles over state/interstate. Date of relationship beginning end. This is the checklist they were passing around to prospective victims and then holding the meetings to get them to coordinate the talking points.
And they have this.
That's not a good thing for them if they have this. Yeah, this is the one that apparently one of the ladies said, "Oh no, thanks. I think I'll just keep this and let everybody know." So yeah, that's a bad
this
thing.
Should go. This is bordering on criminal liability here. I mean, that's not the sort of thing I prosecute. I've ever prosecuted, but I mean, we're beyond just a civil lawsuit hit piece here. Who's the defendant? Is there a defendant besides her?
It's her and her girlfriend, is Ilya Gore, who was apparently a known grifter that was stealing identities from family members and things like
Oh
that
yeah.
to forging credit cards, I believe. If not, I'm allegedly, or I stand corrected. If not, cough, cough. But yeah, so that's why I'm saying this kind of gives her the way out. Until she got with this Gore chick, she had never mentioned him by name. She just said she was assaulted by a former partner and the owner of a bar. And after that, it became Manson. So I would say, if I was her, I would be throwing this Gore chick under the bus. I mean, she's a hot actress. She's on a hit show. She can find a new girl.
What?
Maybe.
Oh Lord! But they don't have a viable defendant. They don't have anybody who could pay a judgment.
Well, they've got their I assume their studio, their Phoenix Act studio and group is behind several layers of legal protections.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Well,
I don't know how.
if you have a studio, they probably have some insurance for this sort of thing, because that's their stock in trade. So that's something, that's a known risk you would insure against.
And again, I sort of think it's kind of along the lines of a Johnny Depp thing, where hey, he just wants to get this out here, his narrative in a controlled environment, and doesn't really expect to get anything from Gore, and probably doesn't want anything from Wood other than her just to go away.
Yeah.
So they talk about intimidating potential accusers by suggesting both directly and by implication that if they did not participate, they could be in danger and security would not be provided for them and their families. There's the checklist. We just went through that. So they would make these talking points. Right. This is the awesome one for me. Wood and Gore impersonate an actual FBI agent by forging a fictitious letter claiming that Wood and other alleged victims of Warner were in danger. That would be this attachment right here. To whom it may concern, please be advised that Ms. Evan Rachel Wood is a key witness in connection to a criminal investigation in Los Angeles, California, involving an international and well-known public figure. The safety of Ms. Wood, her family, and other victims of their families are of the utmost concern during this time. Contact for more information regarding the safety of victims, human sex trafficking crimes, etc. This is from the Federal Violent Crimes Department of the FBI, and they named an actual real live FBI agent woman as being the one who sent the letter.
Oh, and no.
The allegations in this regard are she was involved in a custody issue with her ex-husband, the father of her baby, and she wanted to take the kid out of state. He didn't want it. So the allegation is they forged this letter from the FBI and submitted it in the family court as grounds for why they needed to get the child out of that jurisdiction. So apparently that letter is in evidence in the child custody or the child movement issue. But the thing is, this Federal Violent Crimes Division apparently doesn't even exist.
Oh man!
And it gets worse. Here is Alabama. That is Alabama is Wood. Yeah, Alabama is Wood. This is the text message from Wood to Gore, where they sort of tried to decide on the wording of this letter. Here's the letter. To whom it may concern, please be advised that Ms. Evan Rachel Wood is one of the primary witnesses in connection with an impending criminal prosecution in Los Angeles involving an international and well-known public figure. We have advised Ms. Wood that in our opinion, it is in her and her family's best interest to not be in Los Angeles at the time of this individual's arrest and criminal proceedings. The safety of Ms. Wood, her son, Jack, as well as other victims and their families are of our utmost concern during this time. What do you think? Oh, it's good. I don't know about the letter stating the arrest before it happens.
This is despicable. This is very much like the preamble. It is very much like Amber Heard and the ACLU trying to cook the op-ed piece.
Yeah,
they're very much planning. You see it. It's despicable.
And you'll notice that the names were removed. It's not good. Like I went into this completely open-minded.
Yep.
Saying, okay, Marilyn Manson could have drunk his own Kool-Aid and gone full Marilyn Manson on people. And but after reading this complaint, I think it's incredibly compelling that he may have very, very good grounds for a defamation suit here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see the answer and the depositions, and I'm open to the response, but the complaint on its face is darn compelling.
Yeah. And this is where we start our read through today. Gee, it only took us 45 minutes to get here. All right. In addition to the crimes detailed above, Wood submitted the forged letter in a California custody proceeding, using it as supposed evidence for why she should be able to move her son to Tennessee. Citing and quoting from the letter, Woods lied under penalty of perjury, underlined, stating that she was advised by criminal investigators that my and my son's safety was at risk, and that to punctuate the seriousness of the situation, I was provided with a correspondence from a representative of the Federal Violent Crimes Division of the FBI. This is shit she's saying under oath, under penalty of perjury in the California custody proceedings. And upon information and belief, Gore aided and abetted Wood in forging the letter because the letter would help Wood. The forged letter would be picked up by the press and draw attention to the Phoenix Act. That's their company that made this documentary, the Phoenix Rising documentary on HBO about him. Wood and the false allegations against Warner, and the forged letter would be used to recruit, encourage, and convince people to claim they were abused by Warner because they were being led to believe that Warner was a threat to their safety and under federal investigation. Then they create fictitious email accounts impersonating Warner. That was also one of the allegations, that they went after former employees of him to get access to all of his social media addresses, passwords, things like that, to which they created false and fake emails and accounts and other things in his name, and uploaded illicit and illegal and perhaps underage porn to the email sites and other things.
Well, that's again incredibly stupid though, because there's an electronic footprint on all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, okay, you're going to create an account and it's some guy in God knows where, not near where he is physically, with a different IP address, creating an account and then uploading stuff. I mean, that's all findable. These people aren't right.
And I'm sure everyone here in the chat has got one of those emails on their phone that says you've just logged into whatever account somewhere near Mumbai. And I know we have a couple of people actually in Mumbai, but unless you're in Mumbai and you get that email, you go, holy shit, someone's hacked my account. We need to look into this. So your phone knows where you're signing in from at all times. And the people that are signing into your accounts, their phones, their computers, and the network knows where they are at all times. And you just have to be somewhere else when that was allegedly opened in your name, and it wasn't you. Well, let's read about their brilliant scheme in this regard. From in or around September 2019 until the present, Gore used fake email accounts pretended to be Warner to create correspondence that she believed would be harmful to Warner. And this is also, I think the way they're wording this is just my feeling. Tell me what you think as this goes on, that his attorneys are actually wording this to make Gore out to be the bad guy, to give Evan Wood the out to turn on her. So because they didn't say Wood and Gore used fake email accounts. Gore did this. That comes up a lot. Let me know what you think as this goes on. So Gore used fake email accounts.
That's a risky approach, though, because you want to tag her. But I know but I just think it's the actions. I really do. I just think that they're saying these are the actions of this person. The one thing I can think is maybe they already think they have rock solid connection between the two, and there's no way that she can slither out of it.
Well, Gore, she was also, if I recall correctly, some sort of amateur hacker too. So maybe she was just in charge of the electronic side of things. So this
is bad. I'm with you. Like I came over here because I've heard a lot of people talk about, but I haven't gotten into it. And this is the first time I'm looking at the complaint now with you, and that's why I'm like, I'm going to hop on and do this with Legal Vices and learn. You know. And you're right. I'm 10 minutes into this complaint, and I'm like this. This is worse than Amber Heard.
Yeah,
that's my initial reaction. My mind can change, but from what I've seen so far,
Yeah, and it goes through the one such fake email account created and controlled by Gore was B.H. Warner 1969, and this is when I learned that we're the same age. He's like 6 months older than me. BHW or Warner's initials in 1969 is the year he was born. Warner did not create the email account and never used it. For example, upon information belief, in or around September 19, Gore used the fake accounts to send and receive emails containing links to pornography. Upon information belief, those links are believed to have contained prohibited content, as the URLs currently do not work and thus were likely taken down. So they're thinking minors were involved in those links.
Well, if they can tag that to her, that's definitely a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Look, this guy's famous. He has a lot to lose. Why would you do that? He's not stupid. Why would you take these actions? I mean, it just looks like a hit piece on somebody.
Well, I think that this was all just part of the Me Too pile-on stuff, and they thought they're going to get some serious money out of it. They're going to get a boost. He's going to pay them to shut up and go away. But then about the time that Johnny Depp got sick of it, them being friends, I'm sure he said, hey, you know what? I think I'm sick of it too.
That's what I think your theory is absolutely correct, and we're seeing two occasions where the men have enough money to fight back.
Yeah,
but think of how many there are probably 100 of these for every one that we see where they say, fine, here's a couple $1 million, go away. Even when they don't do anything, they just, I don't want my life ruined. Here's some blackmail money.
No, that's what all the slip and fall cases are. That's what all these I found X thing in my food product. The companies, it's worth them just to pay you your $50,000 or whatever the hell you're asking, rather than spend the hundreds of thousands to fight it. So that's the only thing that makes any sense at all. Was they just thought nobody would look into it. They would get a quick payout and they'd be on their way. But no, didn't work out that way. As another example, upon information and belief, Gore used fake email accounts to create documents that looked like Warner communicating with attorneys regarding a criminal investigation. In one such email dated February 8th, 2021, just days after Wood and several others made fictitious claims of abuse against Warner in a coordinated attack, this B.H. Warner 1969 received an email from a person purporting to be writing on behalf of Warner's attorney. However, the email purported sender did not work for or even work for that attorney or ever work for that attorney. And upon information and belief, Gore created these documents as part of a wrongful conspiracy against Warner to enhance her reputation and esteem with Wood. So again, they're saying Gore did this to impress Wood, the Phoenix Act, and persons that she was soliciting or had solicited to speak out against a Warner, and ultimately to enrich herself. Warner first learned of these fake email accounts and the fake emails described above in November 2021, when copies of these emails were shared with him. Before that, Warner had never received any email sent to or from these fake email accounts. Accordingly, Warner did not discover, and a reasonable and diligent investigation would not have disclosed that Gore's use of fake email accounts contributed to Warner's harm. And then he gets swatted by Gore.
Unbelievable. And you know what? As you were reading this, you're saying Gore and you're saying these names. I've seen Marilyn Manson, but not for 20 years. Okay. I haven't been focused on it, but I know who that person is. Yeah. The other two, the Wood and Gore. Yeah. As you're reading this, it's purely clinical. When you say here's how clean I come to this. I don't have anything against these people. I don't know them. I don't have a visualization of their face as you read them. I don't know what they look like.
Have you watched Westworld?
I have.
She's the lead blonde robot in Westworld. The cowboy actress.
Okay, now I know who I didn't know that before.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know that was her name. I like her in Westworld. I think she's a great actress.
Okay, she's better than Amber Heard.
Oh shit, yeah. And so then I was reading this, and I'm going, who is this Evan Rachel Wood? That's and then I went, holy shit, that's her. Which really,
she played a robot and did a good job, and Amber played a human and did a horrible job.
I'm still thinking she's a replicant. I'm still thinking Amber Heard's a replicant. But I think it's interesting because that once I found that out, that really sort of tied in the first part of this, where they're saying that she loved this relationship with him. She was so happy. She said publicly that this gives her the freedom to do what she wants, gives her, this is the life she's always wanted. And then it's now that she's this super popular actress on a good series from HBO, suddenly it's like, okay, I need to distance myself from my creepy, freaky past. And so instead, I regret what I did. I regret my association with this. Now, suddenly I remembered it wasn't consensual. That kind of starts to make a little bit of sense to me. But again, that's just speculation.
And how old is she?
That's a good question. I do not know,
because I don't know. This seems to somehow correlate to right around the time frame when they start hitting the wall. I don't know. I don't know if there's a relationship or not.
She's 34. Draw your conclusions from that.
Ding, ding, ding. I hit it on the nose.
Draw your conclusions.
What she looks like, but aging, losing power, losing abilities. So now let's go back and get some more attention out of things I did in my youth. That's the theory here.
And let's I still have no idea what this Gore chick looks like. I just haven't looked. So Gore swats Warner in February 2021. So this is about a year and a half ago. God, time is going so fast in this post-quarantine world. Swatting is we all know what harassment is. We don't need to know. We know what swatting is. We don't need to go over that. All right, so swatting creates fear and anxiety and trauma in its victims, as it did with Warner. It spurs copycats, especially where the victims are celebrities and where the incidents are publicized. And of course, it carries a high risk of violence, not only for the innocent victims of swatting, but also for law enforcement officers responding to what then appears to be a serious emergency. Accordingly, swatting has been a crime in California under penal code, blah, 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 as well as in other states and federal law. I like all these footnotes. I wish they were hyperlinked in this, but don't have time to go type them in myself to see what's there. So Gore swatted Warner on or about February 3rd, 2021. The LAPD was notified that the FBI had received a call from a friend of Warner named Ilma Gore. When you swat someone, use your real name. That helps. That helps you get nailed. Who claimed that an emergency existed because she had not been able to reach him and was concerned for his safety. The report was false. Warner was at home with his wife and a guest and not in any danger. Well, not in any danger until he was fucking swatted. I mean, seriously. Yeah, and this could have gone incredibly poorly this situation here. He was lucky that nobody got hurt the way this went down.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had not been able to reach him and was concerned for his safety. The report was false. He was at home with a guest and not in any danger. Gore knew her reports was false. She and Warner have never even met. She has never been Warner's friend and had no basis to believe Warner posed any risk of danger to himself. On the evening of February 3rd, 2021, multiple LAPD officers, and we asked Rodney King how forgiving and gentle they are. Have I just dated myself? Does anyone here know who the hell Rodney King even is? God.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple LAPD officers and squad cars responded to the purported emergency at Warner's home. When Warner did not answer the door, more units arrived, and an LAPD helicopter was deployed. The officers continued to attempt to gain access to Warner's home, and the low-flying helicopter circled above, shining its spotlight on Warner's property and into the windows of his home. At approximately 8:10 a.m., a person associated with Warner received an email from an LAPD detective stating that today we're notified by the FBI. The FBI is involved in this. That they received a call from a friend of Mr. Manson. The friend Ilma Gore has not been able to reach him and is concerned for his safety. We went to his residence, but there was no answer. Is there a way for us to contact him to check on his well-being? If not, can you have him reach out to Ilma? And then we step up our game a little bit more. The LAPD returned multiple times and entered Warner's property. Eventually, the police left after determining there was no evidence of any trouble. So, I mean, at that point, if the LAPD tries to get into your house several times, they have the SWAT teams there, they have the helicopters there, the FBI is involved.
Uh-huh.
That can easily come into just smashing the door in. That can lead to just a no-knock entry under suspicion that it's someone in desperate need of assistance. Not that they're necessarily looking for someone committing a crime. This can they bash in the door. Someone in the house goes, holy fuck, someone's breaking into my house, starts shooting, and then a million police officers start shooting back. The dude who just came over to have nachos and watch movies with Manson ends up dead. He ends up dead. His wife ends up dead. That could very easily have happened in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go to the extent of having a helicopter there, they're taking it pretty seriously.
Whoa. I hope they get charged under that no swatting statute, but I doubt it.
Yeah, see, and again, I don't know anything about California law, so I don't know if that's one of the deals where it was worded, I guess, so wouldn't have been a false police report. It was more of a wellness check gone wrong, I guess. We haven't heard from him, and we don't know what.
Yeah,
the deal
but if
is.
you put that in line with the rest of this complaint, you see what the pattern is here.
Yeah,
I could make that case. I could charge that case as a prosecutor with evidence set forth here.
Maybe they tried, and maybe he just didn't want to cooperate.
I'm saying it's easy. Yeah, beyond a reasonable doubt, they'll say no. We really were concerned, but I don't think anyone's buying it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mindy. Thank you so much. Did you guys watch True Blood? Wood was in True Blood too. That was the vampire one, right? With Skarsgård and
I didn't see that.
True Blood. I don't remember her in that. The only thing I know her from is Westworld, and I really like that. She seems she's another Hollywood weirdo jumping on this Me Too false claim stuff, though. I wanted to be a little bit open-minded on this because I was pretty closed-minded from very, very early on in the Amber Heard Depp trial. But I don't think I'm getting past the complaint in this one. How are you doing 25 minutes into the complaint?
Yeah, I'm not buying this. Again, like I'd like to see the response. If they came back and said all this is lies and they can't prove it and we're confident and blah, 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 I'd say fine. Well, let's have that discussion. But if you're conceding any of these allegations, it's over for me already.
And again, as you said, they're not going to make these statements in the complaint without having the ability to at least back up what's in the complaint.
Yeah.
So you've got to find a way to explain it.
They're allegations. It doesn't mean that it was unethical that you alleged something that you later were unable to prove in a court of law. What's unethical is to allege something that you have absolutely no basis for in law and fact.
Whoa, time out. She was the redheaded Southern Belle vampire that dressed amazing? The chick that got naked all the time and was banging all the other vampires? That was her? Holy shit. Dude, she was smoking hot in that. Seriously? All right. I guess I'm gonna have to go back and watch those early seasons again. She got exposed to the light and torched. That's about the time I stopped watching it. Holy crap! That was Evan Rachel Wood. Okay. Well, now I've got a lot more than just her face in my. Gotta love HBO shows, man. Come along. I can afford HBO now. It's not like when you're a kid and you're in the basement with you got the blanket over the TV so the lights don't come on and it's the free HBO weekend, or you're waiting for the fuzz to clear enough to get a few minutes of picture out of it. Wow. Okay, sorry. That kind of freaked me out there for a minute. I know more about Evan Rachel Wood than I knew a few minutes ago. All righty then. Wow. Sorry to cut you off there. Do you remember what you were talking about before I so rudely interrupted you?
No. That's I get it. It's like, it's interesting to me. I had the same experience when you said she was in Westworld, because I don't see much. I'm like, I actually watched that.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good show.
Well, if you watch the first few seasons of True Blood, you'll see a lot more.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, she gets it on with one of the Skarsgård brothers and everybody else that was in the show I recall. But sweet,
that's how those shows go.
God bless HBO and the old Showtime. And the old Cinemax. All righty.
The old Skinemax.
Yeah. Let's reboot here. Paragraph 48. No way to segue back into this. Damn. Okay, now we're getting an Evan Rachel Wood wasn't in True Blood. I didn't think that looked like her. But now, anyway. Oh, yes, she was. Google it. Uh-oh, it's a chat fight.
This happens a lot with me.
It's a
I'm
chat
just like, I'm
fight.
confused. I don't know.
What's Mike got for us? Mike had a 33-year-old scotch for my 33. What scotch did you have? Don't just say a 33-year-old scotch. What scotch did you have
Top
for
the
your 33rd
Hancock.
birthday?
That's a nice bar.
Hancock Tower, Miss
Yeah.
Chicago.
That's
Great
about,
people, great city.
3-4 blocks over here. That's actually the big building in the back in my backdrop.
Yeah, so you're like right downtown, huh?
Yeah.
I never got that. My maternal grandmother lived a good chunk of her life in Rockford.
Mm-hmm.
That's as close as I ever got.
That's pretty close. I have court in Winnebago. That's Winnebago County, by the way. I get out there once in a blue moon.
Well, I guess we're done arguing. And Glenmorangie, 1977. Several of Glenmorangie was my introduction to Scotch, and several of those bottles back there are Glenmorangie bottles.
Mm.
That's how I fell in love with whiskey. Was through Glenmorangie.
Mm-hmm.
So that they all hold a special place in my heart. All righty then. So does apparently Amber Wood. There's a thought. It's a clone. It's some sort of splicing of the two genes. Evan Rachel Wood. In addition to 4 LAPD squad cars and a helicopter, paparazzi there's no way to segue back into this, is there? Paparazzi were at Warner's doorstep. When the police arrived, the paparazzi took video and photographs and recorded someone making the false statements, which can be heard in the videos that a person inside the house was screaming for help. That's when the police kicked the door in. This created an even more dangerous situation for Warner and his wife and guests inside the house. Upon information and belief, the paparazzi, that's going to be you got to have the buzzwords in the complaint, the upon information and belief.
Sure.
Because you can't say you just can't definitively say this happened. Because if it didn't happen, you're fucked. And you can't say we think it happened, so you have to, to the best of my knowledge or upon information and belief.
But for instance, this particular allegation, I mean, you have a lot of witnesses, namely the people who are kicking the door down and everybody else observing. So, I mean, I don't think they're making up crazy tales that involve witnessed events.
Yeah. You still have to couch it in this language, though, even if you have 100% solid evidence. But by the time we get to this, you're all going to be thinking that this is the new "what if any" statement, the upon information and belief.
Oh yeah,
because a vast majority of the sentences start with that. I think we'll just skip it. You don't have to read it every time. The paparazzi were present because they had been tipped off in advance by Gore. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does sound familiar, doesn't it?
Who, as explained below, had solicited and improperly received Warner's home address and other personal information. That evening, video and images of the police response were posted and went viral online, and it was reported that Marilyn Manson's home was swarming with cops after a worried friend called concerned for the singer's well-being, saying they'd been unable to get in touch with him for hours. Other outlets reported that a welfare check was requested by an alarmed friend who had spent several hours trying to contact the singer just days after a slew of women publicly accused him of abuse. A public slew of women that apparently there's a paper trail with you meeting and agreeing on talking points. You go public, and a few days later, police are swarming his house mysteriously.
Yep. Was he there? Do you happen to know? Was he there?
Yeah, it said he was there with his wife and a friend. Yeah.
I mean, imagine this, people. Just think about you in your own house. That's one thing that's hard. Like, I think it's actually worse for a celebrity. People just think, oh, well, it doesn't matter. He's not human. He's famous. No, he's a human.
Yeah.
He's sitting at home chilling with a friend and his wife. And this happens. Just think about this occurring in your life, happening at your home. It's outrageous.
And I would say that the Hollywood types would be far more likely to be armed than the average Joe citizen in LA, in like downtown Hollywood area. And that can just get ugly. Very quickly.
Or have security.
Yeah. And it does make me wonder why. I mean, so many of these things are actionable and prosecutable. Why was none of this done? Or, I mean, it's still fairly new. It's still only a year old, so we probably have lots of time to work with.
I've seen that happen a lot. This has happened on a few cases that I've dealt with where I'm a civil attorney, so I'm handling that. But when I really start uncovering a bunch of stuff, and then the police will be embarrassed into, all right, we really have to do something here because it starts becoming public and everyone's going, why didn't the police do anything?
Yeah. And again, these are only 1, 2, and 3 years old events. So they're still, for at least most of them, I don't know what the statute of limitations for these various things would be, but it's certainly more than 1 year. So there's a lot of time to work with.
I think we're within statute on most of the stuff. But again, I don't practice criminal law and I don't practice law in California, but my gut says that we would be within statute on most of these offenses.
Yeah. So this was all by design. Okay, we'll start with paragraph 50 here. Gore made the false reports in order to elicit the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to Warner's home. Gore's purposes included harassing and causing harm to Warner in the immediate wake of the highly organized and orchestrated February 1, 2021 accusations, drawing further attention to the false allegations against Warner that he had coordinated. And created a situation that she had coordinated, and created a situation that could result in video footage of Warner being arrested. See, that's an interesting thing there too. They could have done this specifically with the hope that he would put up some sort of resistance and be arrested as a result of the swatting for whatever he could have done to resist cooperating or resisting arrest or something. So that's not entirely outside the realm of possibility.
Well, no, I think that's what they were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, it also created a scenario in which Warner, his wife, and his guest could have been harmed in the chaos of the moment. The swatting by Gore was part of a scheme to benefit the Phoenix Act, Wood, the film project, and to curry favor with Wood and potential and existing accusers against Warner. Based on the press coverage of the police response, which reported on the disturbing incident at Warner's home and the allegations levied days earlier, but not that this welfare check was a hoax. Gore was successful. Now we get him hacking his computer files and social media accounts.
Unbelievable.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is crazy stuff here. Upon information and belief, we thought we weren't going to read that anymore.
Does Gore have like prior police involvement with hacking, or is she just claimed to be handy with the computer, or does she actually have prior charges?
If I recall, she already has previous dealing with her identity theft and other issues with her family and perhaps others.
This does not look good for the defendants here.
Ilma Gore, criminal record. I love the internet. All this fancy stuff. Of course, it's just questions whether there'll be criminal charges against her. Well, nothing immediately jumps to mind. Another jumps to the screen, but I'm sure chat knows it all. My chats are a bunch of know-it-alls, you degenerates. Let's see. How do the fucking police do nothing about her? Well, let's just see what's going on here. We'll have to see. Let it play out. There's still lots of time, I believe, for them to bring these charges. Upon information about Gore gained unauthorized access, e.g., hacked Warner's emails, logins, and passwords, social media logins and passwords, and social security number. Among other sources, Gore solicited and obtained this information from Ashley Walters. Walters was Warner's former assistant and one of the women recruited by Gore and Wood to make accusations against Warner. Now, her case was recently dismissed with prejudice for, I believe it was a time bar issue. I believe it was a statute of limitations issue and a lack of evidence thing. Right. So, because she had applied for the whatever the thing you can do in Los Angeles that gives you additional time to file something after the period of prescription has passed, and they still dismissed it with prejudice.
So she bring a similar type claim, some sexual harassment thing or something.
Yeah, and the statute of limitations run.
As a civil claim, I don't know what it is. The only thing I can think of to toll a statute is if you have some incapacity, along the way, or if you filed a prior claim. Those are the two ways to toll a statute.
Let's see. Ashley. The hell's her name? Ashley Walters. And listen to the bulldog snort in the background here. Ashley Walters dismissed. Statute of limitations. The abuse lawsuit filed against Marilyn Manson by his former assistant Ashley Waters has been dismissed by a Los Angeles Superior Court judge on grounds of the statute of limitations. So, yep.
There we go. You bring it in time. It's barred. The end.
Yeah, she filed for some sort of waiver of that, which I don't know what the grounds for doing that were, but apparently they weren't persuasive at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, a lot of these things are it was repressed memories and I've just remembered them. So I don't think that's carrying a lot of weight with the courts these days. So as part of her work for Warner, Walters was entrusted with Warner's private information by Warner and his representatives. As is common in the entertainment business and numerous other professions that handle sensitive, potentially high-profile matters, Walters entered into a confidentiality agreement that prohibited her from disclosing such information. Oops. Mm-hmm. Gore procured from Waters, among other private and protected information, Warner's email and social media logins and passwords, and Warner's social security number, home address, and phone number. Gore procured this information knowing that she would use it to gain access to and use data, a computer system, a computer network, and or computer services. Indeed, Gore has a history with precisely this type of wrongful conduct. In November 2021, a Santa Cruz judge issued a temporary restraining order against Gore and her twin sister after her twin sister recounted that Gore committed digital spying and stalking against me. Made me fear that I and my children were in immediate danger, serious physical injury. That's a great way to treat your twin sister.
Oh, jeez.
And disturbed my peace, liberty, and free will with coercive control. Gore has boasted that she has a computer science background and is interested in hacking. That's smart. Alrighty then.
If this is true, I hope they get hammered. I hope they get charged. The civil stuff is small. That people need to start going to jail for these things.
This is why I'm saying that if they can even substantiate 1/10 of these issues, she's toast. Both of them are toast. I mean, this is crazy. Gore used information provided by Walters and others to gain access to Warner's personal details, private conversations, email accounts, phones, and social media accounts. Gore used the information she obtained as part of her scheme to orchestrate and promulgate false accusations against Warner, including the coordinated false accusations against Warner on February 1, 2021, and thereafter, which would bring further attention to the Phoenix Act, Wood, and the film project, and to curry favor with Wood and potential and existing accusers against Warner. See, this is so much Gore driven. That's why I'm thinking they're trying to flip her. There's enough.
Is she a named defendant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it's just good allegations against that specific defendant.
Yeah. Well, now as if she hasn't done so already, now Gore slanders Warner. Between 2019 and 2021, as part of her multi-pronged attack. That's a good lawyerly word. The pronged attack on Warner, Gore had multiple conversations with prospective accusers in which she claimed that a 1996 short film made by Warner called Groupie depicted child A, and I'm not even going to say those two words together. During one such conversation in 2021, Gore said that the actress in Groupie was a minor at the time of the shoot and was dead, and that if the video were to be seen, Warner would be indicted. Gore's statements about Warner and Groupie are demonstrably false. Gore knew that they were false or acted with reckless disregard for their falsity. There we get the defamation per se things coming in. The actress Paula Weiss was 22 years old at the time the film was made. She publicly stated that she was not a minor, was involved in conceptualizing the plot of the film, and was acting and hamming it up. Doesn't sound like the witness is on their side in this particular allegation.
Yeah.
Clips from Groupie were featured in a 1998 tour documentary called Dead to the World. Weiss not only was thanked in the credits to that film, but also went on to star in music videos, including Manson's Long Hard Road Out of Hell in 1997 and Garbage's Push It in 1998. The director of Groupie and Dead to the World, Joseph Cultis, had publicly stated that Gore's claims are all fake. Still promulgating these and other falsehoods was part of the Gore scheme to orchestrate and amplify false accusations against Warner, thereby bolstering Wood's claim that Warner had been her and others' abuser. This in turn would bring further attention to the Phoenix Act, the associated film project, and curry favor with Wood and potential and existing accusers against Warner. Indeed, Gore's defamatory allegations regarding Groupie have been repeated in at least one civil complaint filed against Warner and consequently have reverberated through the press. This is entirely unsurprising given that Gore discussed these false accusations with prospective accusers. Wood condoned and encouraged Gore to promulgate defamatory falsehoods about Warner in order to further their conspiracy. So there they're linking the two together again. She did all of this, and Wood condoned and encouraged her to do all of this.
Yep.
And now, after all that, we finally get to the first cause of action.
Oh, boy.
Which is intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's a good one.
Well, yeah.
Warner incorporates by reference the preceding allegations as if fully set forth herein. Gore and Wood's conduct was outrageous in that it was so extreme as to exceed all bounds of that usually tolerated in a civilized community. I like that statement. That's a well-worded statement.
Well,
so extreme.
That's just the probably the statutory language.
Yep. This conduct included initiating at least one incident of illegal and highly dangerous swatting of Warner in 2021. That seems like that would be an intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Oh, yeah.
Soliciting, receiving, and using logins and passwords for Warner's personal and business social media and email accounts and his address, phone number, and social security number without his permission. Falsifying correspondence from a fictitious federal agent claiming that there was concern for the safety of Wood, other alleged victims of Warner, and their families, as well as an ongoing federal investigation targeting Warner. Making knowingly false and defamatory statements against Warner, including that the actress in the Groupie video was a minor and that Warner was manufacturing those two words, and recruiting, coordinating, and pressuring multiple women to make false accusations against Warner and to be part of their film project. Gore and Wood intended to cause Warner emotional distress. In the alternative, Gore and Wood acted with reckless disregard of the probability that Warner would suffer emotional distress as a result of their conduct. Warner suffered severe emotional distress. That's the as I call them, the Jesus wept sentences. Short, to the point, and done. Warner suffered severe emotional distress.
Sure did.
Gore and Wood's outrageous conduct was a substantial factor in causing Warner's severe emotional distress and was the actual and proximate cause of the emotional distress. Gore and Wood acted with oppression, fraud, or malice as defined by California Civil Code, blah, 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 and engaged in highly reprehensible conduct, warranting punitive damages. Where are you coming down just based on the complaint on that first cause of action?
What do you mean where? It's a winner.
Do you see any way out of it based on these? I mean, that just seems way tight.
Sure, you got to show that the allegations are false. That the allegations made by this complaint are false, but they seem to. It's a well-drafted complaint, and it seems to be well-founded in facts. And the reason why they're pointing to things that are verifiable.
Very, very specific things.
Yeah. And someone put some time into this. It's not a sloppily drafted complaint.
Now, the second part is the second cause of action is the defamation per se. Now, as a civil litigator, the difference between defamation and defamation per se is what?
Well, I've never dealt with a defamation case, but defamation per se is you got to show that it's that the falsehood. Defamation is sort of like generally like trashing someone's character, but here you got to show that something was actually false, and it's quite easy in this case, and they knew it, and the person doing it knew it. That's easy. That's easy. I mean, we have that throughout here. For instance, when we talk about, he says, he's basically accuses him of doing bad things with somebody underage, and they say, well, the actress was this age. I mean, we can verify this. Not only that, I'm sure she knew it, and decided to make this statement. So that I don't see a problem with the per se part of this.
Yeah, and I mean the per se just means it is. It's just in and of itself. It's just the statement is just in and of itself defamation. And what they're alleging for that, I've made it blue. There we go. Let's make it unblue. Warner Incorporates, blah, blah, blah. They're just saying all the facts apply to this as well. Gore stated to persons other than Warner that during the filming of Groupie, the actress in the video was a minor, and the actress was dead.
Well, there we go. Okay, so that's they go. The complaint goes right with the first thing that I thought of. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's that defamation that is just so outrageous that in and of itself it causes damage or is presumed to cause damage. I mean, I can say Law Talk with Mike is a fucking idiot. That may be a defamatory statement.
Yeah,
but if I say he's a chomo,
and you can do all this stuff, yeah.
But if you say somebody's a chomo, then that's pretty defamatory. If it's that goes to a whole new level of defamation. So Gore understood these statements to refer to Warner, and specifically to mean that Warner's role in making a groupie, e.g., was criminal. Indeed, she stated that groupie was evidence of a felony and that Warner should be indicted as a result. These statements about groupie were false. The actress in the video, Paula Weiss, is alive. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't even saying that he was a can we say kitty diddler? But a necrophiliac kitty diddler. I don't know how that. Well, I guess it could make it worse, but yeah. But he's saying, oh no, she was alive. Not only she was an adult, and she was alive. God, why would you even say these things? I guess I'm just naive.
Yeah.
She since publicly. I like how this is again typical lawyer speak. It's like what the corpse was he dead after you saw his head removed from his body? Yeah. The actress in the video, Paula Weiss, she has since publicly stated that she is alive. I like those things. She has publicly stated that she was not a minor at any time during the film production of the film. In addition, the director of the film, Joseph Kutis, has publicly stated that the claims are all fake. Gore knew the statements were false or had serious doubts. Wait, I just where did we go here? Aha. Okay, I scrolled past myself. Gore knew the statements were false or had serious doubts as to their truth. Upon information and belief, Gore knew the actress was not a minor or had serious doubts that she was a minor, but instead intended to peddle the false and defamatory statements because they would validate and enhance her fabricated narrative regarding Warner's alleged abuse of others, including as reflected on the checklist provided to women that Gore recruited to come out against Warner. As you said, I love how well this is crafted. It just ties everything in piece by piece, just one thread at a time, and sews this really, really tightly. Gore made the above described false and defamatory statements without privilege or justification. I don't know what justification you'd have for saying that, but the above described false and defamatory statements injured Warner by diminishing his reputation and his profession, trade, or business, which has a natural tendency to lessen his profits. It was Gore's intent and expectation that the defamatory statements would injure Warner economically, including by lessening his profits. The above described false and defamatory statements also injured Warner by causing him to experience harm that is compensable by general damages. Gore's intent and expectation was that the defamatory statements would cause Warner harm. Warner did not discover and had no reason to discover what prospective accusers had been told. This is just a formal language here. He also acted with oppression, fraud, or malice as defined in civil court. Comments? Yeah.
These first two counts, we got intentional infliction, emotional distress, and defamation per se. Yeah. We got two winners. Let's go for three, because even if the third one sucks, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's go.
Yep. The third cause of action is the violation of the Comprehensive Computer Data and Access Fraud Act, which is a penal code section. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's criminal code. It is interesting that they're pleading it that way.
Yeah, that's I had the first time I read through this, and I thought that was interesting, and I hadn't gone out of my way to figure out what exactly is going on. But
Yeah, I
that's
mean, because you're not charging a crime, but I guess they're saying you're violating this, and it may allow for civil penalties as well. But it's
yeah.
it's in the criminal code or the penal act, whatever. So, but it doesn't look good. So this, all right, we're going to get into the hacker stuff here.
Yeah, this is the hacker stuff here. I'm just quickly scuttling back to see if we've missed any. Oh yeah, no, we haven't missed any super chats yet. You stingy mothers. No, just as I said, I never ask or beg for these super chats, but I never refuse them either. I only ask that you like and subscribe, not only to me but to Law Talk with Mike if you haven't already done so. He's a great guy to have on. He's well based. He's totally unbreaded along with the rest of us if you don't already know him, and we're all good to go. The third cause of action, the violation of the Comprehensive Computer Data and Access Fraud Act. Starting with 77, Gore, with Wood's express or tacit approval, solicited, received, and used logins and passwords for Warner's personal business, social media, and email accounts without his permission, including from Warner's former assistant, who was entrusted with such information as part of performing her duties for Warner. Upon Gore and Wood knowingly accessed and without permission deleted, destroyed, and otherwise used data, a computer system, or a computer network in order to devise or execute a scheme of artifice. This is totally statutory language here. Mm-hmm. Devise or extort and or wrongfully control or obtain money, property, or data. Basically, they illegally used his info. Mm-hmm. Gore and Woods knowingly accessed and without permission took, copied, and or made use of data from a computer system, or computer network. Gore and Wood knowingly and without permission used or caused to be used computer services. Gore and Wood knowingly and without permission accessed or caused to be accessed a computer system, or computer network. Gore and Wood knowingly and without permission provided and or assisted in providing a means of accessing a computer system, or computer network. Basically, they just used all the computer network incorrectly, illegally, and wrongly. Conduct was a substantial factor in causing Warner's harm, and engaged in highly reprehensible conduct warranting punitive damages. Yep. So that's what they're saying. It was illegal, and it was illegal not only that it caused us damages as well. Butterfly. Hey, that's a cute spelling of butterfly. Butterfly 417. Thank you so much. That is muchly appreciated. The fourth cause of action, impersonating over the internet. Okay. Again, everything's incorporated by reference. This is the last cause of action, by the way. Gore and Woods expressed or tacit approval knowingly and without consent credibly impersonated Warner through and or on an internet website or by other electronic means for purposes of harming, intimidating, threatening, or defrauding Warner. Warner was harmed as a result of Gore and Woods' conduct, and of Gore's and Woods' conduct was a substantial factor in causing Warner harm. Gore and Woods acted with oppression, fraud, or malice as defined by California Civil Code. Now we get into the prayer for relief. Are you aware of what they're asking for? What he's asking for in this case?
Four good counts. Yeah. You got to ask for judgment on behalf of the plaintiff. That's what you're asking for.
Do you have any idea how much he's asking for?
I mean, I don't know. Like, in Cook County, for instance, in our prayer for relief, you're just asking for a judgment in excess of the minimal jurisdictional limit. So, I mean, you don't get specific. You don't ask for a number here.
You are correct. We know that Johnny Depp was asking for $50 million. This is I like this more because it doesn't sound so much like a money grubbing thing. It doesn't sound like you.
Well, that's just because probably statutorily in Virginia you have to like name a number, for that cause of action or something like that.
So he's just asking for damages and general and special damages in an amount to be proven at trial. So at trial, they're going to say, this is what happened. This is it. And either leave it up to the jury to decide how much it is or ask for a specific amount during the trial.
Sure.
Punitive damages. Again, no set amount. All costs, interest, and attorney fees to the extent provided by law. And this, I don't know if it's something about Virginia law, but I don't know why this wasn't included in Johnny Depp's an order enjoining Wood and Gore from engaging in further wrongful conduct towards Warner. Don't know why that wasn't part of it.
Yeah, that's but But courts don't like to do that because they don't like to babysit things after the fact.
And finally, anything else that the court wants to give them.
Yeah, sure.
And that's it. That was filed on March 2nd of this year.
Well, that is fantastic. Now I'm up to speed on this.
And there's one thing we didn't get to while you were here. Is that attachment A was the fake FBI letter from the fake department of the FBI, and attachment B was the checklist. Attachment C is notes from apparently one of their meetings, if I recall correctly, coaching people on how to make the allegations. It's sort of like where they're editing out things, saying, don't say that, say this. I would cry, scratch, and slit my wrists in the hopes that he'd stop hurting me. I must have looked crazy. And there's like 3 or 4 different handwritings in this.
Astroturfing this whole thing. Yeah, I get what's going on here. I'm open to hearing what the defense response to this, but it's despicable so far. I've seen enough. Although my favorite part so far is your Skinamax reverie. I got to be honest with you. You're like, whoa. No, that chick was hot. I don't know if she was in this case.
I love the Hollywood nutcases and crazy ladies. They're entertaining, and your live streams.
No, thank you. Seriously, I'm glad I hopped on here because I want to get up to speed in case this thing heads towards trial. This thing should get nowhere. Wow. Well,
what can they offer to settle it? I mean, that's the point.
They need to settle it to stay out of jail. And he would probably take, okay, we completely lied, and we're moving along.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be unless they can come up with some huge amount of evidence to show that he's lying in this, and that I just can't imagine this. And I really wanted to be objective.
What they did is they took 2 data points. They said, okay, this Me Too movement thing is nuts, and believe all women are number one. Number 2, let's pick a victim, Marilyn Manson, who's got this bad boy persona. He looks freaky. That's a whole thing for his act. Okay, and we put those 2 together. There's no way we can't just grift this guy senseless. That's what's in their little minds when they concoct this scheme, and it's obvious. I'm not saying I don't know anything about Marilyn Manson. Has he ever done anything freaky? Probably. But I don't believe these people.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the whole thing is that they're saying he did all of these torture things, as BDSM stuff. He's saying, yeah, but it was all consensual. Yeah, and now she regrets it. It's the it's the Aziz thing. It's a bad date gone wrong, so let's allege abuse.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
And that's a freaking dangerous thing for men these days. Is the risk of just doing something and then somehow having the partner has regret later, or even has bad intentions going into it. And we're kind of at that crux where men are not easily believed. And I think that, as you said, that played a big part into it. Me Too, superstar, really freaky reputation. He's going to get out of this quick because he doesn't want all of this stuff talked about. He wants to get rid of it. Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense about that.
Yep.
Shouldn't there be an answer to this complaint filed by now? What they is, I think it was last week, they filed a motion to strike out parts of the complaint. And
the response of pleading was a motion to strike.
Yes, some I don't know what they asked to strike from it yet. I haven't been able to get a hold of the document.
I'd be interested to see that. Yeah, I mean you can respond to these things in a lot of ways. You can respond with a motion to dismiss or something, but usually you need to answer the complaint.
Let me see if anything has come up in the last couple of days. Motion to strike.
I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you really don't respond to a complaint, eventually the allegations are deemed admitted. I mean, you have to earn it. You have to screw up for a while, but eventually you get to a point where you got to answer the allegations.
Yeah, and again, this was only filed in March. I don't know what's the standard time. Like in Korea, you have 30 days to respond.
Yeah.
I assume it's probably close to that.
Yeah,
in the States.
20 or 30 days or something like that. By the way, and let me be honest, you'll have a specific time, statutory time, but the reality is, if you answer before you get in front of the judge next time, like if your status date is 90 days out and you answer 85 days out, the judge is going to be like, why'd you take so long? But they're not going to do anything because now the case is progressing.
Yeah, I mean, what they do here in Korea is, though, I mean, they say you have 30 days to respond, but it's very rare someone actually does. And if they do, it's just we deny everything and we'll provide a further answer in detail later. But even if you don't, then I mean, it'll essentially go for potentially months, and then the court will say, okay, we haven't had an answer to this yet. It seems like these days about 3 to 4 months. Then they'll just set a default judgment date, and then if you file some answer before the default judgment date is, they vacate the judgment date and then set a date for trial. So
they plug this pretty specifically, though. It's hard to just hit this with a general denial without exposing the attorney to sanctions. That's probably what they will do. Don't get me wrong, but it's a hard complaint to, like, if you just sort of say, oh, there was a generalized conspiracy against my client and they were defaming him. Great. You can still proceed. Like, if that's the way you pled it, you can still proceed for it. You can deny that and say, I wouldn't characterize it as a conspiracy against your client. Fine. And no one's ever going to question the attorney for doing that. But this is getting very specific and broken down. Then you really have to think, do I have any basis whatsoever to deny this? Can I say that it's, a matter of interpretation or anything else? And a lot of these allegations, they really can't.
I mean, they are very, very specific.
So the motion to strike might just be to buy them more time to really go through this and think, how are we going to deal with this? Because then they've really pinned them in. If you just generally deny all this, you might get in trouble. But if you start admitting any of these allegations, your client's going down. I don't know what to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, I haven't seen the motion to strike, but I'm assuming it's not to wholesale strike the defamation per se or the other causes of action. It's probably meaningless little details in there that don't really amount to anything. It's probably just to buy some time.
Yeah. To
deal with these preliminary.
I mean, yeah. If you and you really don't want. To resolve an issue, you want it dismissed. You don't want it stricken. Stricken just means they could replete it or do anything. It doesn't really have any effect on it. You want to defeat the allegations on the merit.
And we'll have to see where. Like this thing was filed March 22nd. So, and I'm guessing that you're looking at least 2 years before this gets anywhere near a trial.
Oh yeah.
And there's going to be so much preliminary shit back and forth.
I'd say it's longer than that. Think of all the depositions they have to take. But I mean, it does start with the pleadings. You go back and forth, and if they try to get rid of some counts or something like that, I don't see any of those counts going anywhere.
What about the criminal side of things? Again, we don't know because we're not there and we have no idea. But I'm feeling there's got to be some sort of criminal repercussions coming down at some point, if any of these are substantiated.
Well, I don't blame. This is a nightmare for police, and I understand why they don't just, and prosecutors. I understand why they don't just barge in because they don't know the full story, half cocked. But if you get a bunch of depositions and stuff really showing that, for instance, the swatting was clear and obvious, which I think you will, I think it's going to be hard for them not to charge it.
Yeah, I mean, just going by the complaint, which I'm assuming they can substantiate or wouldn't be in here. It came from a friend of Manson who was concerned, and they said he's never even met her.
Yeah. So I'm not prejudging all this because I don't do that. But if all these allegations, let's just assume arguendo, all these allegations are true. People need to go to jail.
Yeah, I would agree.
People need to go to prison, and those people are Gore and Wood. Let me be specific. Now, they haven't proved. They've alleged. They haven't proved these allegations. So I'm not saying that today, but I'm saying if all of this is true, and they need to go to jail. This is bad stuff.
I
definitely will.
I mean, I completely like as you said, I wanted to be because I like her. I liked her in Westworld. I think she seemed like a pretty decent person, and apparently, I really liked her in True Blood. If that was her, I don't think Chad ever got it worked out. But I wanted to come into this very neutral and sort of just focus on what is submitted in court without doing much outside research to the background and the history of the just see what the jury would be seeing. And now that I've seen the complaint, I found it to be particularly persuasive.
Well, you know, we do have an adversarial process, and the defense attorneys certainly will have all the opportunity in the world to refute this stuff.
And it looks like a pretty insurmountable thing now.
Yeah,
because we've only seen, and that's how it's supposed to work.
Oh, those attachments are killer.
Yeah.
This, you know, that grifting 101 checklist, that is terrible. The fake, I mean, it's just awful. Ooh, I'm glad I did this because now I'm kind of up to speed on it. Although I heard a lot of people talking about this is an interesting case, but you are correct. We are a long way from going to trial on this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, this is how we're supposed to feel this way right now. And again, if we have to tie it back to the Depp Heard thing, after the opening statements, you go, "Hey, that sounds about right. That sounds persuasive." Then the other side gives their opening statements. You go, "Well, wait a minute, that sounds pretty believable too." Then you get your first round of witnesses. The complainant, they put on their case. The plaintiff puts on their case, and you go, "Well, that sounds pretty good." And then the defense puts on their case, and then you go, yeah, I'm still sticking with the plaintiff in this one.
The problem we've got here is a matter of law. The one thing I can see that's, but this is different because the defamation isn't predicated on these things. The defamation, at least that they were talking about, was specifically on that groupie film, and it makes sense and it's very clear and it's per se, it really is. But, you know, again, people are going to like judge. She's going to say I was abused by him because of this BDSM stuff. And the fact of the matter is she probably consented to it. She probably liked it at the time. Who knows? And she used her connection with him to get into things like Westworld. This is why, because you know people and you were in other projects, and it's all part of it. And it's a big mess, and nobody likes to say it out loud, but I will on Legal Vices. I mean, that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
But that really doesn't go to the allegations in this complaint. That's just throwing mud on the side. He's saying you defamed me because you said something that wasn't true, not related to any of that stuff. And she's going to say, oh, well, you've been abusing me. Okay. File your criminal complaint then. Because we haven't seen that against him. And the reason why is because that's not the way she saw it at the time. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get your channel taken down here in my first appearance.
Oh, no. Nope. Go ahead. The monetization bot told me I was swearing entirely too much yesterday.
Do you have a? I don't even know how to do those things. There's a monetization bot.
Well, no, I mean on the YouTube where it gives you the red, yellow, and green monetization signs. It just I wasn't talking. I was reviewing. I was reacting to ship collision videos.
Right.
And it just came up yellow, and then I had a few comments going, "You're swearing a lot tonight." I went, all right. So apparently I swore much more than usual last night, and I got yellow flagged for it. So feel free to say basically whatever you want within the realms of legalness, and I don't care.
No,
like Megan's comment
this
here.
is good. Tell me if you get a hold of the motion to dismiss or the response or something. We can do that one too. That'll be shorter. But this was a primer. I needed to go through it.
Like, acting is not real life. Evan is not a hot vampire robot. Well, she convinced me of that. Says the commenter who's, oh Lord. But yeah, I think this is going to be, if it goes to trial and if it's televised, it's going to be much more interesting than the Depp Heard, I think, because this is much more than the he said, she said, and one crazy person. This is the plaintiff having a shit ton of evidence. If any of this is substantiated, And God knows what she's going to come up with to refute this. And these are much more interesting claims than, he hit me repeatedly countless times and did all these horrible things. This is wire fraud, identity theft,
Yep.
swatting, falsifying letters from federal agencies.
I think the defamation's even cleaner. Yeah, he was doing this with an underage person, and then she died. No, just wrong. wrong. No.
Yeah, nope. She's still alive, and again, I want to have her on the stand and hear the great lawyer question. So, were you dead at the time this allegedly happened? I love when lawyers are forced to ask those questions.
Oh, and then they're going to drag this poor woman back who participated. I mean, she gave a statement on it, but I mean, is she going to have to come back and testify for him? I don't know. Their whole, I told you, their whole thing is because he did the bad boy persona thing with the freaky eyes and the makeup and all the weird stuff. It's like, oh, he already looks like a monster, so let's just allege he's a monster and we'll get free money. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it after hearing this.
Yeah, and I'm concerned that a lot of people are going to come in predisposed against Marilyn Manson, because I'm sure a lot more people like Johnny Depp than like Marilyn Manson.
Sure,
he has a much worse reputation, I guess.
Right,
but I'm grateful that my mother was way cooler than most moms in the neighborhood. I mean, she grew up in Patterson, New Jersey, and then in Rockford, and then California, Nevada. She was kind of a street kid. she was a street thug. Mom was gangster and dad was a cowboy. But she introduced me to Alice Cooper when I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
because she got it that it was a stage persona. He's not Alice Cooper when he's off the stage.
Yeah,
he's a son.
It's typical rock. I mean, look at Ozzy Osbourne. Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson. It's very, very typical. It's sort of the bad boy archetype. It's not a big deal. Anyone with half a brain can see it.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people have that half a brain.
That's the sticking point, huh?
That's who he is. He wouldn't be doing that on stage if that wasn't him. But I mean, like, you think the Rammstein guy goes around wearing leather and soaked in blood the rest of his life, And I got that's why, again, so grateful that my mother showed me, like, Alice Cooper is vaudeville, and Alice Cooper even refers to was it Marilyn Manson and somebody else? I can't remember who he was talking about, but he was referring to them as my naughty little children. He knows it's vaudeville. It's vaudeville. This is an act. But it is possible that he could have drunk his own Marilyn Manson Kool-Aid and started living that lifestyle. But hey, I'm not a freak shamer. If two people want to get their freak on consensually, freak the fuck out, man.
Yes, and absolutely. Is he a famous rock star who's done a lot of stuff and probably gotten freaky with some women? Of course. I mean, who would think otherwise?
Yeah.
Are you crossing the line and doing really nasty stuff? And that's when you get into private he said, she said nonsense. It's awful, but that's where we are.
And I mean, that was one thing that I thought about before I saw the complaint, was if you're going to get involved with Marilyn Manson, you're coming to that eyes wide open. He's probably into some pretty freaky shit.
It's assumption of the risk, as we say. Yeah.
the attractive nuisance.
I would say that about, yeah.
Weren't you raised as Mormon at Legal Vices? Your ma is a fire raiser. Yeah, in my earliest childhood, I was raised by a lapsed Mormon pro golfer, a Catholic mother living next door to a Church of Christ minister. He just knew I was going to hell, and then my parents got more into the LDS Church, and then I came here as a missionary for 2 years, and then I grew up. But yeah, so that's mom was she was a fire starter. She was great. Yeah, she was a huge Ted Nugent fan, a huge Alice Cooper fan. She was a big Bon Jovi. She was kind of the rocker. But that's the important thing, is separating that from the actual people and actually what they do on and off stage. I mean, every rock star has groupies, and the edgier the rock star, the edgier the groupies are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know that the Stones and Ozzy and these old guys still have the young groupies hanging around, or if they do, if they just pay them any attention. But if you're young in your 20s, 30s, 40s, like Manson was, you're going to be enjoying the groupies.
Of course.
That's
the whole reason they did it. I mean, come on.
Let's quickly plow through these things here. Butterfly. Well, we already did this one. Sorry, you get a 2 for Butterfly. We don't know if it'll be televised. It might be. I hope it is. Give me something to do. Mistress Meg, acting is not real life. He's not. We already did that one. Another 2 for you. Library of Maury. Thank you so much. Repressed memory therapy is pernicious. It definitely has the potential to be. Gore might have convinced Wood of abuse. Lit a fire under Wood to pursue justice past statute of limitations. Let's we'll have to see what the judge decides who's at fault. Tanasha R, thank you so much for the generosity there. Much appreciated insight on this case. Thank you to you and Mike for your time. Keep up the great videos.
Thank you.
I hope so. And we hope to keep Mike around as long as possible and doing these things for each other. They're awesome. And I enjoy being part of this, and it's kind of fun interacting.
Yeah, that was really fun. All right, there's you know what, we will have some trial's a long way off, but there's going to be a lot of interim fun on this one.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that we didn't get to see with the Depp Heard thing, is how it evolved from the beginning of the filings. Now we can sort of track this happened,
but the focus wasn't the same. Like this sort of set this the Depp Heard sort of set this case up because everyone sees the similarities.
And it was filed right near the end of the Depp, well, right at the beginning, March 22nd. So that was right before the Depp trial got underway. Jeez. So I mean, I would be thinking that probably his team was watching to see how the run up to the Depp trial was going for Johnny Depp. And when they saw how the public was looking at it, they said, all right,
let's get that thing on file.
Yeah, this was March 2nd. So that was about 6 weeks before the trial, right? The trial started mid-April. Yeah. Something like that. And so, which you were there. How as long as we're talking about Amber Heard and shit, tell us your experiences.
What with the trial?
Yeah.
Well, my whole thing is this is, I mean, I know you're fairly new to YouTube, but this is what happens. My viewers got me into this. So on my channel, I had some people asking about it, and then I have people like, we don't care about it. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I hooked up with Alita over at Legal Bites. Because I said, some people are just asking me to comment on this. And I thought I would go over there for like 1 or 2 times. And I just got completely sucked in.
Yeah, and
it was fun.
So I think it was Legal Mindset got me hooked up with Nick, and he had me on night. So I was working the 10-12 hour days, come home, eat dinner for an hour, and then stream till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, get 3 hours sleep, and go back to work and do it again.
Yeah, it's maddening. Yeah, I'm glad it's over because it's so much during the time, but it was fun. I look back on it with fondness.
And anything you're particularly looking forward to coming up in the legal sphere?
Not really. I mean, I got one that most people know about. A case that I did is Kim Blandino is getting sentenced on July 7th. I'm interested in that. But as far as trials, this one's the one that's highest on my, in terms of trials outside of my practice. This one's highest on my radar right now.
Well, you got to fill the gap. I mean, the Daybell case is coming up in January.
Oh, Daybell's great. I was on Kurt's stream. Kurt did a dramatic reading of some of Daybell's
the love
50
letters.
Shades of Grey writing. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched that yet, but I've let him notice. I'll be his resident Mormon expert if he needs one.
Apparently I didn't know because the chat was doing it, because I'm not, but like apparently it does have Mormon overtones, because there's this whole,
there's some offshoot breakaway cult
I mean
version.
It's all and the best part is you've got Kurt uttering the phrase loin fire.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's not
beautiful.
comfortable with it, nor should he be. It's good stuff. I recommend it.
Yeah, I was going to watch that when I had some time. I'm looking forward to that. So,
Yeah, all right.
but it's
Well,
going to be
I should
fun.
run along and make some money, but thank you so much for having me on my first Legal
Yeah,
Vices appearance.
awesome.
It was good times.
And we'll see you on one or the other in the very near future, I hope. Because we're actually like Monday is kind of when I kick off the week doing a reviews. I've been reviewing ship collisions and things because that's sort of what I do, the maritime law
fun.
aspect.
Right.
But there's a great thing that I wanted to hit next week, and I know you do a lot of it. Apparently, they just arrested some sovereign citizens with a shit ton of explosives in their cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I talked about it yesterday, but all I had was but all I had was the newspaper article. Basically announcing that fact. That was it.
Because I want to talk about that next Monday too. See what I can find out between
that's
now
fun.
and then.
Well, we'll stay in touch with me on that because you know
probably about the same time.
I actually had Ian on Runkle the Bailey, and we were talking about last night. It was fun.
That's one thing.
But
Andrew,
I'm going to
okay, get out, run away.
places. Yeah.
All
so I'm going out to LA tomorrow.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. Enjoy your time.
Yeah. All right. But
been a pleasure.
Nice hanging out with you, and we'll talk soon.
And everyone go visit his site, like him, subscribe to him if you haven't already done so. Talk to you later, sir. All right. He is out, and we are here and alone. Welcome back, everybody. Mike's a great guy. I enjoyed hanging out on his streams. A couple of times we've done it, and a few times we've been together other places. Hope to have him back more because I know he does a lot of reactions to these insane sovereign citizens. And Andrea Burkhardt she's made multiple references to bothering me because they all seem to base their sovereign citizen claims on maritime law, which makes utterly no sense to me. So no, we hope to have him back soon. That'd be fun. So right now, what do we got going on here? We've got 500 current viewers. That's pretty sweet and awesome. Please like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already done so. We've picked up 52 subscribers since we started. God bless all of you and thank you all. Seriously, and by God, I mean whatever happens to be out there bigger than us or the planet or the aura itself. So hey, bless all of you for joining and subscribing and following. Again, this is an interesting case because so much of the interest has been focused on law tubes as a result of the Rittenhouse trial and as a further result of the Johnny Depp trial. But this is an interesting case that we get to follow from its inception to its conclusion a couple of years down the line. So this is a unique experience for people who are not involved in the legal sphere to see how cases are filed, how they're handled before the trial, and how it progresses and how it all comes together leading up to the time that we get into the courtroom. And we have 1 million people telling me to check my Twitter DMs. All right, let's go over here. Marilyn Manson's ex tells truth about Marilyn's innocence. And okay, that'll give us some food for next time. Thank you very much for sending that one. And let's see, we got some more Depp v. Heard. Betty Lee has sent some links. Thank you very much. All right. And let's see, we haven't been paying much attention to what's going on here. Did I see this yet? Let me see what else is going on here. Oh, yeah, the Jumbo Floating Restaurant. That's actually one thing we're going to talk a lot about, the Jumbo Floating Restaurant. Yeah, definitely. That's already on the menu, so to speak, for next Monday. It's for those of you who don't know, this Jumbo Floating Restaurant is this huge freaking floating restaurant in Hong Kong. Well, it was a huge floating restaurant in Hong Kong. And it's great. It's a great case. Well, it's not really a case. It's just a maritime accident. This gigantic restaurant, which was huge and famous. I mean, to say it was huge and famous is an understatement. It was ridiculously huge, and it was very, very famous. You have the freaking Queen Elizabeth ate there. And Johnny Depp ate. I don't know if Johnny Depp ate there or not, but I know Tom Cruise ate there. I've eaten there. So there's it's a huge floating restaurant, and because of COVID, they had to shut it down, and so it was just sitting there, costing millions of dollars a year, just to sit there and deteriorate. So they were going to move it somewhere else to do repairs. It set sail a few days ago on its way to this place to be repaired and brought back up to code, and then it flipped and sank. So we've got videos, we've got news articles. We're going to be all over that next Monday. So, yep, I've seen it. It is definitely on the menu, and we will be ready for that next Monday. So you definitely want to check in next Monday for the Jumbo Floating Restaurant. Don't miss that. And if you can't be there on time, do not worry. It will be replayable. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Yeah, the Jumbo Floating Restaurant is a thing. But the interesting thing, I'll save all the interesting parts for next week, because I really want to have something new to talk about on next Monday. Because those of you that showed up yesterday, some of the videos we did kind of sucked. So screw that. We're going to preview from now on, the ship collision videos to make sure we don't get a nonsense like we had last time. Sabrina here. Wait, Sabrina, where'd you go? You just disappeared. Ah, there we are. In my imagination, JD and MM had a chat like, JD, you go first. You're more likable. Okay, by the way, can I have that huge glass? Dito was used to sit in. I just smashed my mega pint. He did. He brutalized that mega pint. God damn it, Johnny. I have 4 of these. Well, I had 4 of these, but then I gave 1 to Legal Mindset. So I'm down to 3. I'm going to protect mine. I'm not going to smash mine in a fit of rage. Because don't smash the pimp glass. Do you think the FBI agent will do an independent investigation of her name by Wood? She's already come forward and said, no, that wasn't me. That bureau doesn't exist. So, yeah. Again, it'll be interesting to see what if any. God damn it! I just said what if any. Can you hear the dogs breathing? Hey. Hey, doggy. Doggy, come here. You can't see doggy, but you can hear her breathe. Hey, breathe. Oh, well. Anyway, that's the dogs hyperventilating in the background. Oh, there we go. That's not me. Yeah, that's not me doing the heavy breathing. No, they're English bulldogs. They're not pugs. They're 2 English bulldogs sitting down here under the table. So can't show them, but yeah, they're sitting there. And people are like, oh, why are you always breathing so heavy? It's not me. It's the dogs. I used to keep them outside, but then everybody kept saying, bring the dogs in, because they occasionally will wander around in the background and make people happy. So I bring the dogs in, but I bring the dogs in and then they're hyperventilating. So we've been going at this for 2 hours and 7 minutes now. We've had a good number of people on here. We've had a great number of likes. We've got 531 likes. I was hoping for 600 likes today off this video while we're live. So please just if you haven't already hit the like button, please just pop on down there and hit the like button. Let's get another what do we got? We need 60 more, up to 539 already. Get 60 more likes, and that'll be awesome, because the more likes you get, the more YouTube thinks I'm an interesting person, and it gets me out there. And the same with comments. After this is over, if you want to go leave some comments, please do. The YouTube algorithms like comments. They really love subscriptions. So the faster the subscriptions go up, the more it comes up on the recommended videos and things. And that lets people know we're here, and that grows us bigger and bigger and bigger and quicker and quicker and quicker. And I love this. This is hilarious. I really enjoy talking to all you guys. I enjoy, like I said, I can't pay a lot of attention to the chats while it's going on. I pay as much attention as I can, and I try desperately to make sure I don't miss any of the super chats and super likes and things. But the next day, or whenever I have time, I like to go back and read through the chats just to see what I missed, because you guys are fucking hilarious. I really enjoy going back and reading the chats and sort of wishing I could be more of a part of it, because the chats are way more fun than I am, I think. We got a couple more. Now, thank you so much, Irish. I was drunk. Thank you very much again. Can you say Irish wristwatch yet? Yeah, I can still say it. Couldn't. I was past the point of being able to say Irish wristwatch the other day, but I've been controlling myself today. I haven't sworn nearly as much as I usually do, and I've only had the two drinks in 2 hours. Dang, I'm just turning into a monk over here, like a non-drinking monk. So thank you again for that. Oh, and thank you so much for that super sticker. You are awesome. I always love to see the doggo. The doggo comes on the stream. I have to notice it. Can you say it 5 times though? No. Well, I could, but I would say it very slow and deliberately. Oh, shoot. Oh, Irish says, Irish I was drunk says, well done. I think just for you Irish folks, tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be here. I have a drinking appointment, and I don't know what time I'll get back. But on Thursday, we'll be doing something else. Really don't have any clue what we're going to be doing on Thursday yet. We might be doing more. We might be doing some more updates to the mansion thing. I don't know. We'll think of something to do on Tuesday. But I think on Thursday. I think on Thursday we'll open up my my bottle of Redbreast Irish whiskey. I haven't opened that yet. That's what I should do. We should do a live tasting and then talk about whatever it is we're going to be talking about that day. And again, if there's something you want me to talk about, if there's a case you want me to look into, if there's something that you find interesting, that you think I might find interesting as far as a case goes, or, again, a ship collision video or some sort of interesting thing, email me. My email address is thelegalvices@gmail.com, or send it on Twitter, thelegalvices on Twitter. I'm Irish. It's a long way to Tipperary. All righty then. Yes, I do. I do have a drinking appointment tomorrow. One of my friends who is one of the top bartenders in Korea, he routinely goes off on international cocktail competitions. He just opened up a bar, fortunately very near my house. It's a great high-end, basically it's a cocktail and single malt bar. And you can smoke cigars in it. Again, one of the few places you can smoke cigars. He knows how to get the proper zoning to do that. So it'll be a night of cigars and whiskey for me, which is sort of like every other night, but I'll be outside instead of home doing it. And depending on if I get really, really, really super drunk, I just might find myself on an impromptu live stream. So send me anything. Whatever you want, and that's my deal. We have a lot of time now because the Depp Heard thing is finally fucking over, and we can move on to other things. And I'm here to entertain you. Are you not entertained? I'm here to entertain you. So the things you're interested in, if I think it might appeal to a broader audience, I would be more than happy to discuss it, more than happy to talk about it. So please send me your ideas, your thoughts, and on what you would like to see. Oh dear, what do we got here? Isn't the next business hearing soon? Yes, July 22nd is the date here now because it's after midnight. It will be in exactly 2 weeks on July 5th. July 5th is the next Taylor business hearing. July 5th will be the arraignment. It'll be a very, very short hearing. They will essentially read the charges against her and ask her whether she pleads guilty or innocent. That'll say where we go. If she pleads guilty, then there'll be no trial. It'll be over quickly, and that'll be the end. But she has nothing to lose at all by pleading not guilty. If she pleads guilty, she goes to jail for the rest of her life without the possibility of parole. It's over. Full stop. Done. So the worst that can happen if she pleads guilty is the only thing that can happen. A guilty plea is a default. Go to prison for the rest of your life. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. If she pleads not guilty and goes to a trial, The worst thing that can happen to her is she goes to jail for the rest of her life. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not get released. So the results are the same. The worst possibility scenario is the same in both cases. So she literally has nothing to lose by going to trial, because it's kind of a foregone conclusion. The only hope I can see that she would have is that somehow the prosecutors make some huge error that gets the case dismissed, in which case they would probably just refile. And that's really the only thing she can hope for, is to drag this out, the way I see it anyway. I mean, it could be completely wrong. They could come up with some completely exculpatory evidence to offset the fact that she confessed to everything and she was still covered in blood at the time the police came to arrest her. So yeah, she's got nothing to lose, nothing at all to lose. So I hope she pleads not guilty on July 5th. And that would be an awesome birthday present for me, because my birthday is July 5th. And her pleading not guilty would make me very, very happy. Insanity, she could plead insanity. But I mean, I don't know what the specific statutes in that state are regarding an insanity plea, but the problem with that is the idea of insanity. You have to be in such a mental state that you did not know what you were doing was wrong. I mean, there's two kinds of insanity. You're insane and not competent to stand trial. Like you're so crazy you can't even go to trial. In which case they put you in a hospital, they give you treatment, and when you are competent to stand trial, wow, careful dogs. When you are competent to stand trial, then they put you on trial. They already tried that. 2 evaluators found her competent to stand trial. So if she pleads insanity, they have to prove that she did not know what she was doing was wrong. But I think they lose on that point because she tried to hide the body. She chopped him up into little bits and pieces and at least made efforts to try to hide him, which indicates that she knew what she had done was wrong. So I don't think she has a chance on an insanity plea. Legal Vices, will you be covering Susan Boone's suitcase trial? I do not know the Susan Boone suitcase trial. I'm assuming Susan Boone was found inside of a suitcase. Is that a good guess? Please email me this. Send it to me by email. Remind me to look into the Susan Boone suitcase trial, and definitely look into it. Again, I don't have the brain to remember all of these things right now. If you put it in a nice place like an email, I'll be able to remember it. I hope she pleads not guilty, though I feel a little bad for her lawyers. He's a public defender, so that's what he does. I mean, if he's not defending her, he's defending someone else for exactly the same amount of money. So that's what public defenders do. The public defenders have a rough time. They have and that's what I wanted to do. I was either wanted to be a public defender or do maritime law. This law firm offered me the job first, so that's what I'm doing. Thank you for that tweet, my Beavers unit. Muchly appreciated. My mods keeping track of things, keeping me on top of what's going on. My Beavers unit, yes, that happened in the business case. She was pleasuring his corpse and herself with his corpse for about 3 hours. But we don't want to talk too much about that. I like Colonel Kurtz too. She knows all about the Marilyn Manson things. She's the Marilyn Manson expert, and I desperately hope to get in contact with her. And I will definitely work my schedule around hers if she wants to be a part of this, because from what I've heard, no. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's not what I thought. Susan Boone zipped her boyfriend in a suitcase and he suffocated. Okay. Not what I thought happened. I assumed that boyfriend stuffed Susan Boone in a suitcase, but I was wrong. It was the opposite. She zips him up and he suffocates. All right. Please email that to me. That would be fun. Oh my gosh. Well, folks, as I said, we've passed the 2 hour and 19-minute mark. I think that's enough for today. It's 12:30 here, and I've still got a bunch of stuff to do before I get to sleep, and then I get to do it all again tomorrow. I don't know what my schedule is tomorrow, but seems kind of unlikely that I'll be around for a stream tomorrow. But I'll definitely be back on Thursday with something. There's actually a lot of things to look into, and so we'll do something on Thursday. I appreciate all of you for being here. The 400 of you that are still here, we had quite a few as this thing went on. Let's see how we're doing on the likes. We hit the 600 likes. Boom. I should have said something like motivational. I should have said something motivational, like I'll do a shot or a double shot if we can get 600 likes, but I didn't. We're at 609 likes. We're at 62 subscriptions. Just because I'm an idiot and I'm stupid and it doesn't really matter, and it's just all in fun. If somehow in the next, what should we get? It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes exactly. 5 minutes. I'll hang around for 5 more minutes. Right now we have 21,062 subscribers. If we can get 38 more subscribers in the next 5 minutes to get me to 21,100 subscribers, I'll just do this mega shot of Whistle Pig 50% ABV rye in my Mega Pint Legal Vices Pimp Cup. That's all. It's a stupid thing. Let's see if we can get 38 subscriptions in the next 5 minutes. It's time to kick into subscription grift mode. Come on, everybody, pop over there, do a little 38. We need 38 more subscriptions. Do we have 38 subscriptions? No, we just lost a subscription. Fuck you, whoever just unsubscribed. Go fuck yourself. Now we need 39. We needed 38 until I opened my mouth. Now we need 39 subscribers. I don't think we're going to get 39 subscribers in the next 5 minutes. So I will just sip this slowly through the rest of the evening while I play with the dogs, clean the kitchen, and do other domestic things. Oh, we're back up to 38. We were 62. We've hit 62. 38 left to go. Anyway. Oh, I did. I noticed. Did you send more than one? I noticed your super sticker. I said hi to your super sticker. And because I said I always like to see the doggo on cam. And just in case you thought I missed, I'll do it again. Yay. I always love to see the doggo. Can't ignore the doggo on cam. Uh-oh, we're the numbers are going up. We have 2 more. We need 36 more subscribers. Oh, we lost one. We need 37 more subscribers. All right, where are we here? So anyway, as I've been saying, I always want to give credit to my mods for doing the job they do, and for the good things that they do, and they keep the. What have I done here? No, shit! I almost hit the wrong button there, Frank. So let me know again, as I said, what do we need to do? What do we need to do that you're interested in seeing? Because I know what I'm interested in seeing, and I'm not sure what I'm interested in is what you're interested in. But unless you tell me what you're interested in, then there's no way. No, I'm not psychic. So yeah. We're up to 66 now. We only need 34 more subscribers, and then I give my liver a run for its money for the next couple of hours. Do we have any takers? No. All right. Anywho, we've got to. Where are you going? You got to scroll up here. Missed one. Nope. It was after that. The SDC business deal's coming up soon. Where did this other super go? Oh, there it was. It just jumped again. Irish I was drunk. As we say in Ireland, just do it for the crack. Just do it for the fun of it. I probably will, but if I can get the subscription and the fun, we'll do that. Crack is how you pronounce that, right? This like the most evil and insidious thing in the world is Irish pronunciation. It's almost as bad as Welsh. So I believe the CRAIC is pronounced crack. If Julie Moss apparently was asking where I'm from. South Korea. Yes, I live in South Korea. Yep, there we are. I am in South Korea. Rushing through the chats here, see if we've missed everything. Yep, it is pronounced crack. Yay! I hope. And I believe it also means just for fun, just for the hell of it. So we're doing good here. How often do I come to the States? It's usually a yearly thing, but I haven't been back since 2019 because of the the pandemic. But I will be going back to the States on in about a month, in the middle of July until the end of July for 2 weeks. Be first time I've been able to see my fam back home for 3 years. So that'll be great. Oh, Irish I was drunk says, yep, perfect. Yay for me. Yay for me and my pronunciations. Yeah. We've just hit the 2 hour and 25 minute mark. We got a grand total of 6 additional subscriptions out of that little mini subscription drive. We're at 21,068. But what the fuck? Let's just do it for the crack. Let's do it. Let's do it for the fun of it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoy having you here. Give a special shout out and thanks to the moderators for keeping us on track, for keeping you entertained when I fail to keep you entertained. And don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already. Turn on that notification. Let YouTube have all the love so they give me the love and we continue to grow. Until we meet again, probably 48 hours from now, take care of yourself and always, always explore those legal vices. Bye.